The rules of evidence, the rules of procedure, the criminal code, civil liberties, they all need to be the same for everybody. The rule of law is that the law applies to everybody equally, regardless of rank, power, wealth, or perceived status. The right of no person to keep and bear arms in defense of his home, person, and property shall be called into question. Article 2, Section 13. What do you think that means, Marco Gonzalez? What do you think these words mean? The right of no person to keep and bear arms in defense of his home, person, and property shall be called into question. What do you think that means? What do you think that means? You think it means that the right of no person to keep and bear arms in defense of his home, person, and property shall be called into question? Is that what you're trying to say? You think it means the opposite? Because I think that the rules of evidence and rules of procedure, criminal code, and civil liberties, I'd be embarrassed if I'm Marco Gonzalez and I'm the chief judge and I want to sit there and direct the culture of what's lawful and what's not lawful in a 6-county district. I'd be embarrassed that so many fucking crimes, so many Nazi fucking piles of shit are committing so many fucking crimes. And it goes on. They just found human remains north of fucking Manasseh. God damn, Manasseh's like a big Christian fucking city. An advisory listing. Here's a couple of the errors. Here's a couple of the errors that I wrote down that Marco Gonzalez had committed during the trial. But actually, I want to read Frederick Douglass first. Must the Negro kill to be free? This was written in 1847. Must the Negro kill to be free? I have been taunted frequently with the want of valor, and so has my race, because we have not risen upon our masters. It's adding insult to injury to say this: you belong to 17 millions, with arms, with means of locomotion, with telegraphs. We are kept in ignorance. 3 millions to 17. You taught us with not being able, you taunt us with not being able to rescue ourselves from your clutch. Shame on you. And stand aside, give us fair play, leave us with the tyrants. Then if we do not take care of ourselves, then you may taunt us. I do not mean by this to advocate war and bloodshed. I am not a man of war. The time was when I was. The time was when I was. I was then a slave. I had dreams of freedom through a sea of blood. But when I heard of the anti-slavery movement, light broke in upon my dark mind. Hope then took the place of desperation, and I was led to repose in the arms of slavery. I said, I will suffer rather than do any act of violence. Since the light of God's truth beamed upon my mind, I become a friend of that religion which teaches us to pray for our enemies, which, instead of shooting balls into their hearts, loves them. I would not hurt a hair of a slaveholder's head. Wow, that's powerful shit. This is anti-slavery. 1847. There is a religion which takes off fetters instead of binding them on, that breaks every yoke, that lifts up the bowed down. The anti-slavery platform is based on this kind of a religion. It spreads its tables to the lame, the halt, the blind. It goes down after the long neglected race. It passes link by link until it finds the lowest link in humanity's chain, humanity's most degraded form in the most abject condition. It reaches down its arms and tells them to stand up. This is anti-slavery. This is Christianity. It is reviving gloriously, is threatening to supersede those old forms of religion, having in them all the love of God and none of man. These are the men called infidels, 1847. Should I read this one? We'll end it off with that one, because, man, that was 2 fucking bangers in a row there, Frederick Douglass. So how many errors did Marco Gonzalez commit? Besides allowing 8 assassination attempts, besides allowing my puppy Tecumseh to be murdered by the right-wing sovereign, fucking child molesting, fucking Nazi motherfuckers, the Nozo-Chomos, the fucking Nazi, they're goddamn literal fucking Nazis out there, and they're molesting, they're raping kids for 5 years. These are Xanis McDonald's people. 8 assassination attempts. Somebody said, actually, we should be blessed by the people, by the pieces of shit who don't like us. But 8 assassination attempts. My dog was murdered. And there is something else, too, that's on the top of my mind, but I'm not figuring it out just yet. Whole bunch of shit, really. But just, 200 crimes, right? 100 to 200 crimes. nonstop. So actually, you shouldn't ask Marco Gonzalez about Colorado law in the San Luis Valley. You should go talk to Phil Greene. That motherfucker has tricked the cops, tricked the DA, tricked the clerk, tricked every fucking one of you stupid motherfuckers. Phil Greene, Robert Pickerel, goddamn, they must have gone to Cornell Law. Fucking geniuses. Keith Schultz couldn't figure it out. Not Quintana, not motherfucking Gonzalez, not Ann Kelly, not Alonzo. None of them gave a fuck. I mean, that was probably the biggest impediment to the system actually doing a damn thing. None of them gave a fuck. Error number 1, no grand jury indictment. You can't just throw a fucking felony on somebody, you piece of shit. That goes against the 5th Amendment to the United States Constitution. You know, if you're a smart man, let's say Gilbert Roman, right? If he's got this comprehensive, cohesive understanding of the law, you should be tickled pink by all this. My God, this fucking citizen, this peasant from out of nowhere, this man from nowhere has got such an incredible handle on Colorado law. Look at this. And Section 8 of Colorado's Bill of Rights. Are you kidding? Can that be right? Section 8 of Colorado's law. We got the Constitution anywhere? Colorado Constitution? No. Okay, so what is Section 8? Can we pull it up? Section 8 of Colorado's law is what? I bet you it has something to do with issuing felonies. You can't just throw a felony on somebody. Basically, what they're trying to say is one piece of shit could just point to another man and say, that guy's a felony. He could just make a decision to fuck that guy's life up, and then everybody's just going to go on with the fucking thing as if, you know, that's a good system. Well, that dumb motherfucking piece of shit over there, he made an accusation. He said you did a thing. Yeah. Does he have evidence? Nope. He don't have any evidence at all. Huh. Well, that seems pretty fucking stupid. Don't that seem pretty fucking... Section 8. So this is Article 2, Section 8. Come on. Goddamn Google. Error 2. No preliminary hearing for a felony charge with the mandatory minimum of 1 year in jail, $1,000 breaking CRCP number 5. So Article 2, Bill of Rights. God damn. Okay, so... it's in the Bill of Rights. Is the Constitution of Colorado the law in Colorado? Am I the only one who believes that the Constitution is actually a part of the law? Michael Gonzalez doesn't believe in the Colorado Constitution nor the American Constitution. He's breaking the 5th Amendment and he's breaking Section 8. Here we go. Section 8, prosecutions, indictment or information. Until otherwise provided by law, no person shall for a felony be proceeded against criminally otherwise than by indictment. So by grand jury for a felony. It says it right there. Right there in your face. It also says I got a right to the courts. So when I accuse Sam Jepson of firing shots at me, how come I don't get access to the fucking courts? All it took for the Code Janty to be able to say something about me was an accusation. No evidence. Just an accusation. The cop believed him just because he always known him forever. Well, I've always known Code Janty. Code Janty, he never lied to me. He lied to that one cop and he lied in court. Yeah, well, except in cases arising in the land and naval forces or in the militia when in actual service in time of war or public danger. So when there's public danger, if we have militias just going around, in all other cases, offenses shall be prosecuted criminally by indictment or information. So in all other cases, you could do it by information. By information means I got a piece of information. Here's a piece of information. Go ahead and put it in. And the information is that guy accused that guy of something. That's the information. Oh, any evidence? No. Did you see it? No. Are you 100% sure? No, not for sure at all. He just fucking said something. Anybody can lie. In fact, he did lie. He lied a whole bunch of times. A lot of these motherfuckers lie. Are all y'all lying? So this says that you, for a felony, you can't just slap it on somebody. It says specifically for a felony. No misdemeanors, no other fucking cases, no like bloody cases, no other description, no other adjective is used. For a felony. It's got to be by indictment. Except during war and all these other exceptions. But it's got to be by grand jury. You can't just throw fucking felonies on people. Jesus Christ, you stupid ass pieces of shit. Does anybody give a fuck about the law in Colorado? No preliminary hearing for a felony charge with mandatory minimum. Yeah, here's another thing. So, okay, you didn't get a fucking grand jury. You got to have a grand jury organized, and you got to get them together, and then they're the ones that indict, throw down felonies. And then there's probably an exception here and there, but that's the fucking rule. Now, it's also Colorado's rule. It's America's rule. It's Colorado's rule. Now let's presume, okay, some reason we're going to say, well, instead of giving you a grand jury, we're going to give you a preliminary hearing. How about that? It's less, but it's something. You don't just go straight to trial, don't pass go straight directly to jail. But you actually get a hearing. And a preliminary hearing is, what's the evidence against him? And then you say, what's the evidence, you can either sabotage theirs or you can present your evidence. So it's, do you have enough evidence to convict? Do you have enough evidence to go on to a trial? No preliminary hearing for a felony charge with a mandatory minimum of 1 year in jail, $1,000. So what's a felony charge? What's a big crime? What's a notorious crime? Because that's what America asks. It says felony in Colorado. So it says notorious or major crime or something. In Colorado, it straight up says felony. But we have to define notorious, and over a year in jail, $1,000. You get some kind of, if you have a minimum sentence, a mandatory minimum, you get a preliminary hearing. Nope, no grand jury, no preliminary hearing. The trial court didn't allow the defendant's letter to the court stipulations, nor the defendant's public statement, YouTube proclamation on the day in question into the evidence pool. So we're reading all the different errors. And apparently the truth doesn't fucking matter. The truth is immaterial. They never asked me what the fuck happened because it didn't fucking matter. The cop has accused me. A cop has kidnapped me. And then these stupid ass bitches, Marco Gonzalez and the rest, they just play fucking judge. They just play court and DA. They don't give a fuck about the truth. They don't give a fuck about justice. They're not trying to get to the bottom of things, and they're definitely not trying to bring about a presence of justice in the community. They have no virtues whatsoever. Why wouldn't the truth be allowed to be entered into court? If you're like, well, we want to put you on a stand so we can yell at you and try to get you to contempt yourself. We want to shit on you, and then when you got mad, we were going to handcuff you and cheat that way. We were going to cheat that way. No shit, you're going to fucking cheat that way. No fucking shit. If you actually gave a fuck, you would have asked me a long time ago. 2 years these proceedings have been going on. 2 fucking years. You think that bitch, Michael Gonzalez, that little dick bitch, Michael Gonzalez, has ever asked me what happened? Nah, he's a liar. He's a criminal fuck. He doesn't believe in the golden rule, and he doesn't understand Colorado law. And if you don't have the law and you don't have any fucking morals, what do you got? You're a criminal bitch. I figured out 2 ways to get my testimony into the evidence pool, but he says fucking no. It's on YouTube. The entire world gets to know, and I wrote the letter to the court so they fucking know. So the court behind the E-system knows, and YouTube knows, but not the jury in question. Well, that's fucking cheating. That's fucking cheating. I read your fucking rules of evidence. I read your rules of procedure, and those are consistent. Conviction can't be upheld due to insufficient evidence. They had a videotape of me driving up a hill, and it was in a truck. You really couldn't even tell it was me, but it's my truck, and, I'm an honest person, whatever. So, basically, I was like, just tell the truth, and the truth shall set you free. But not with these stupid criminal bitches. These stupid criminal bitches, they think they're so fucking smart. Anne Frank, did you disobey your mother? Yeah, well, lock her up. She gets syphilis. Nope. She goes to jail for life. What's your religion? Oh, that's illegal. You're not allowed to have that religion. Conviction can't be upheld because the evidence doesn't meet the elements of felony menacing. CRS 18-32061B, they presented a verdict form which didn't even have the elements of fucking felony menacing. There was no imminent, no serious bodily injury, and something else. No imminent, serious bodily injury, and something else. Maybe I'll get to it here in a second. The Colorado Constitution, nor Title 18, nor the rules of evidence, nor the rules of criminal procedure weren't allowed to be admitted into evidence. Here's all the fucking laws that I read. I read every Colorado law there fucking was. And then I asked a buddy of mine, to just read 10 little fucking words and memorize them so we could have a, an actual adult conversation. Yeah, it's a fake friend. A fucking fake ass piece of shit who fucked me over. I walked in with a fake fucking friend. It would have been nice to walk in with an actual friend. I read every fucking law in Colorado. You couldn't even memorize 10 words so we could actually talk. The reason why I take comfort in the law is because growing up, I was just getting hit all the time, and it's like, goddamn, child abuse is pretty fucked up, isn't it? You think it's okay to shove green beans up kids' asses? That's who the fuck you people are? What about arsons? What about poaching? What about serial killing? So you're okay with child abuse and violence and rape and murder and arson, and you're okay with the worst fucking things in the fucking world. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. You went straight for violence. Did you ever try talking to your planning and zoning laws, my planning and zoning theory? When I came to Costilla County, all I thought about was planning and zoning. There's fucking 87 pages of fucking laws. And I'm the opposite of the Xanis McDonald fucking people. Xanis McDonald people, racist, child abusers. And they said, fuck planning and zoning. So I'm like, I'm not going to go in there. I thought Costilla County was going to embrace me with wide open arms. Jesus Christ. I'm consistent with planning and zoning, so I'm not breaking the law. Not only am I moral, I'm lawful too. And I'm against child abuse. Principally, from the marrow of my bones, I'm against racism. My God, I'm the opposite of those right-wing sovereigns who think they're above the law and that America doesn't, the Colorado Constitution don't even fucking matter. And that Michael Gonzalez has no authority whatsoever. I wasn't allowed to talk about planning and zoning. For 2 years, that's all I fucking thought about. And that's one of the main reasons I'm getting fucked over. They pissed off the neighbors that I was being lawful, pissed off planning and zoning that I was being lawful, pissed off the cops, Keith Schultz, I don't care about that. Soto Cruz, do you have your permits? Yeah, I do, motherfucker. Are you going to do something about it now? Are you actually going to be a cop? Why did Soto Cruz become a cop? And when I filed my complaint to that piece of shit bitch, I'm like, God damn it, this motherfucker's he's gonna come and rape my kids later on. That's who these pieces of shit are. They can't stop crimes. They don't go around investigating anybody. They just fuck over the victim. And they keep fucking over the victim. 200 crimes, and then I said stop, and they're like, well, we're gonna put another 1,000 crimes over you, 6 years in the penitentiary, hard labor. Hey, fucking Hell's Angels, get in there. There, you try to rape him if you want. You can go ahead and rape him. What I needed was someone to listen, someone to give a damn. What I needed was for the American system to work. I needed a cop to give a shit, a judge to give a shit, a DA to give a shit, somebody to give a shit, a neighbor, a friend, mother, a father, a grandparent, a third fucking aunt or uncle or somebody. Also, they're delivering to Robert Pickrell, who didn't pay for a fucking... the people fucking with me didn't pay for their... Troy Zinn didn't pay for his planning and zoning permits. Robert Pickrell didn't pay for his planning and zoning permits. Phil Greeny didn't pay for his planning and zoning permits. The people fucking with me didn't pay for their planning. Hiram Richardson, Nick Villela, they didn't pay. Well, they half. Now, Hiram didn't pay for his planning and zoning. So the guy paying for his planning and zoning is getting fucked with by a bunch of fucking deadbeat criminal motherfuckers. You think the person committing crimes out there is the one that paid for his permits? You're a bunch of dumb motherfuckers. I wasted $2,000. I wasted my time reading your stupid ass fucking laws. Fuck planning and zoning. Fuck Costilla County. Costilla County, if you want to raise a good family in a good neighborhood, do not go to Costilla County. You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to get a career, and you're not allowed to raise a good family in a good neighborhood in Costilla County. Only Nazi criminal motherfuckers are allowed. Only Nazi criminal motherfuckers are allowed. He didn't let any of my theories of the case in. There was no fucking instructions were submitted. The first 3 goddamn exhibits that I want to turn in was the Colorado Constitution. You're against the Colorado Constitution. He would be, because he's probably never read the motherfucker. I bet you Michael Gonzalez doesn't know shit about Colorado law. Michio Kaku's A Future of the Mind wasn't admitted. Yeah, I'm supposed to pretend that he, respects psychology? He doesn't respect psychology. He didn't have, it was my word versus the other guy's word. Bring a psychologist in, see if they could talk about, his state of mind, my state of mind, about eyewitness testimony. He don't respect psychology. If he does, why don't he go to the psychologist? He needs to get his fucking head checked, that fucking crazy bitch. You had Thunder that defended his wife-to-be, probably his fiancée. Thunder defended his family. And that bitch said he needs to get his checked. No, Michael Gonzalez, you need to get your fucking head checked. If you don't believe in fighting for family, what the fuck do you believe in, you piece of shit? Thunder did right and Thunder did good. But since he was arrested, Michael Gonzalez only fucks over the people that the cops kidnap. If the cops kidnap you or put a ticket on you, you're fucked. He's not going to hear you out. He's not going to listen to you. He don't give a shit. Quintana, they'll all be fucking assholes if you walk through the thing. Well, you must be guilty if you're here. No, or maybe I'm an American citizen and, we have court and what the fuck are you? You're a bunch of fascist pieces of shit. Michael Chop Liver Gonzalez had a bent of mine. He tried to fuck me over for 2 years. But since I had a fucking child abuser for an advisor, basically abusers, anybody who abuses me look just like, well, you're just like my abuser. You must love me. How you're being mean and stupid and how you're not listening to me and contradicting me and talking to me with a bunch of contempt. You must love me a bunch. He was a fucking biased piece of shit bitch with a little fucking dick. The best thing you could say about a judge is that they're even-handed and fair and balanced. I was paraded around like an asshole for 2 years, 24 appearances. That's $4,500 an appearance per consilient. That's $100,000 worth of legal fucking troubles this motherfucker put me through. So even if it got dismissed at this point, you punished me, motherfucker. But it's not about right or wrong. It's not about establishing justice. It's about establishing injustice. We're going to protect Sam Jepsen and Troy Zinn and motherfucking Hiram Richardson's crimes because they're all right-wing fascist fucking piles of shit. Criminal motherfuckers with no fucking ethics, no fucking morals. He should have recused himself. Defense was blocked by judge from impeaching Kojante out. Kojante's a liar. He lied right in court. A lie is a lie is a lie. He needs to go to jail for 6 years. He needs to be... If we're going to say, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, you can't break the law. He broke the law. I got videotaped evidence. I have accusations. There's nothing Kojante has done that I haven't done. He said that he stole a basketball goal. Because that's what you do when you're 18 years of old. Oh, yeah, I never stole a basketball goal when I was 18. And then he lied about it. He said that they stole the basketball goal. What, this basketball goal that I got here on the back of my back and I'm just walking through the streets? No, this is my basketball goal. They stole it from me first and I'm just getting it back. He's already lied. He already committed a crime against a person, lied, said it was the other fucking person. He's already done this shit once before. Motherfucker signed up for the military, never saw any action, so he, got dishonorably discharged, got kicked out, fucking broke his leg or what the fuck happened. But I thought that a lot of people go to defend the Constitution and defend my, rights and freedoms. That's what George W. Bush said. 9/11 happened because they were jealous of our freedoms. So I thought people went to fight for Iraq to fight for our freedoms. Is that not true? Is that not what the soldiers are doing? Because I can't put a soldier up on a pedestal anymore after this shit. You're stealing my freedom. You're sitting there saying that a person in Colorado does not have a right to bear arms in defense of home, person, and property. You can't disprove it because it's the God's honest truth. It's what the fuck I was doing. You can't disprove it. Kojante lied 2 times. He said he never saw me in the beginning. Oh, a 6-foot-tall man shouting at him to get the fuck out of here with 5 dogs. So you're lost and you look to the left, but you never look to the right, huh? You never look to the right. And then he's saying I'm chasing him as he passes by me. And then he pulls into the neighbor's driveway. Well, where did I go? If I'm chasing him and shooting at him, how come it's buckshot or bird shot so it spreads? I'm shooting at him and I'm running in the front yard. I'm within 100 to 200 feet and I'm shooting bird shot. And there's not a shot on his car. There's not a shot on his truck. There's not a speck of bullets anywhere. He didn't get hit. He leaned over in his fucking chair when it happened. So when he says in court that it was seared into his mind, he was leaned over like this. You saw nothing. You were sitting over in the side of your chair going forward. And at the most, you could say I was at the side of my house, in the back end. Just barely, like within a foot or two. You can't say that I was goddamn in front of the fucking house, you lying fucking bitch. But that's who Michael Gonzalez is. He's a Nazi bitch. He doesn't feel bad that the McDonald's were raping those kids for 5 years straight. He doesn't care that he's created a culture of criminality around here. He doesn't give a shit. Basically, if a lawyer or a cop brings something to his attention, he'll look at it and then pretend to be a judge about it. But if a citizen does it, there's 50,000 citizens. There's only 100 cops or, 100 cops and lawyers or so. So he's saying only 100 people get any kind of say-so. And then the bulk of the 50,000 working class families, none of us get a say-so. None of us get free speech, right to petition, right to peacefully assemble. None of us are allowed to bear arms in defense of home, person, and property. None of us get the freedoms protected by Colorado's Constitution or America's Constitution. That should alarm the shit out of you all. Nobody's ACLU, nobody's NRA around here. Nobody believes in the Second Amendment because Colorado has a very strong Second Amendment, and Michael Gonzalez is saying we don't have a Second Amendment right. And since he lied, I could have impeached Kojante. I could have impeached him, asked him leading questions, talked to him like an asshole. He said no to that. He just fucking lied. You should lock him up for 6 years. If I'm a cop and I arrest him, you would just rubber stamp that decision. That's all it took was a tiny little accusation. Sam Jepson shot 3 shots at me, tried to murder me. Robert Pickerel was with the guy that tried to murder me too. Neither one of these guys have been arrested. I got the name. If I'm a cop, I've witnessed. And actually, I'm a citizen, so I can, since I witnessed these crimes, I can arrest these motherfuckers myself. But I would need body camera. I would need a witness or two. And since they're just lying through their teeth, they're freaking out 3 warning shots from behind my house. And they're taking the lie of a liar. They're taking all the lies of this fucking liar and they're shoving it down the system's throat. They're cheaters. And it's fucking bullshit because if a cop just shot and killed the person, nobody would even question him. He wouldn't have been arrested. Felix Gallegos killed a man. He didn't even go to jail. Nobody took $5,000 out of his fucking pocket. They didn't prevent him from living. He didn't get treated like a piece of shit by Quintana. And then you got that Christopher Mondragon running out everywhere. You think that Quintana and Gonzalez will talk to Christopher Mondragon like he's a punk-ass bitch because he's respectful and lawful and polite and good and decent? You think they'll do that to him? Now, he's dangerous. He killed Kenny John, and he didn't get arrested, peacefully. You don't have the body there. You don't have the body. So I guess you can't act like you're a judge or a DA or anything, or a clerk. You have to wait for the cops and the lawyers to do something before you can start to give a shit. What a fucking... That's not a system. That's totalitarian fascism. It's a bunch of right-wing fucking fascist fucking fucks. Can't impeach a fucking guy who just perjured himself? That motherfucker is lying and he's trying to get me raped for 6 fucking years. He lied right on the stand. But Michael Gonzalez is a lying bitch. He don't care about the truth and he likes to establish injustice. Because he's a criminal or he covers up for crimes. Now he's a criminal himself. Fucking official misconduct. How many times do I have to say crimes are happening to me before somebody, a fucking cop, a judge, a DA, a clerk, before somebody fucking hears me? I'm tired of fucking saying it. I'm tired of re-injuring myself and saying that crimes happen to me just so these bitches can just shrug their shoulders and put a thumb up his ass. That's all Michael Gonzalez does is shove a thumb up his ass. He said once that I needed to get a lawyer because he wanted me to stand in court like I was chopped liver. Now you just gotta stand there like a dumbass, and then I'm gonna get the lawyer and twist his arm and get him to fucking plea deal you out. For 5 months that stupid bitch tried to do that. The same pressure he wanted to fucking get me on the stand to testify is the same pressure he wanted me to get a fucking lawyer. Yeah, right. Jim Dosta wouldn't even sit down for a day for $1,000. None of these bitch-ass lawyers want to take the case because they would have to stand up to the judge and they would have to use their personal credibility in order to do so. And they'd also have to know how to use the law and fight for the law, which they don't know how to do. Right Wing Sovereign is a gang affiliation. It's a fucking posse. There's a reason why they're not that organized, but birds of a feather flock to fucking together. I wouldn't doubt if there's a Facebook group or some sort of something that is uniting all these fucking piles of shit. Is it Bruce Doucette? Because Troy Zinn didn't feel bad about being right-wing sovereign at all. And Noah Spalding acted like he hated right-wing sovereigns. So I wonder which is